Hope your weekend was good. I hope the middle of the week is good for you. Let's get right into what we're going to talk about. The question is, why do FBAs live rent-free in Tether's minds? As we see on these Twitter spaces and on Twitter, there's a lot of vitriol towards foundational Black Americans from all of these other groups. We're seeing it play out in so many different areas. And there was a thread earlier from some South Africans. Somebody from South Africa was like, those Black Americans, after all these years, why do they speak English? And then in the thread, it was just thousands of comments from people who were not just in South Africa, but they were in other parts of Africa, just talking real greasy about foundational Black Americans. Why we speak English and why we don't use our own language and all of this old stuff. And my thing is, people who live in these third world countries, damn near, or these impoverished places that's so impoverished to the point where you're living in shanty towns. I'm like, why are we the ones that's rent free in your mind? That's one reason why the thread went kind of viral, because a lot of FBAs were in the thread asking the question, like, damn, y'all really got a lot to say about us, and you got them white supremacists right there with their feet on your neck, and you guys are the majority over there. You're the majority in a country with the white supremacists with their foot on your necks, and you're sitting up here with us rent-free in your mind. So what's up with that dynamic? We as foundational Black Americans, we don't really go up in other people's spaces whining and crying and complaining. We just let them do them and we do us, but we don't really go in their spaces. What is it about us where they have to be in our spaces? Everything we do, they have to be in the mix of it. Every conversation we have, they have to be at the table. Why are FBAs living rent-free in people's minds? I put up a tweet earlier that went viral. I said, what sense does it make for immigrants to be on panels or committees for reparations that's going to decide what tangible benefits foundational Black Americans are going to get? And nobody could give an affirmative answer on what logical reason is for that. You have all of these reparations panels, and almost every single one, they got a bunch of immigrants on reparations panels. Even the Sheila Jackson Lee thing. Sheila Jackson Lee with that bogus HR 40. Sheila Jackson is a Caribbean immigrant. They had something in Memphis. I want to say they had it today. They might have had it today. I don't know, or they're going to have it this week. But they were planning a reparations conference in, I want to say, Memphis, and they had some of these people that nobody ever heard of, and one of the guys is from Nigeria or something. Like, what does he have to do with our reparations claim? You see, family, this is why we got to start taking control of the narrative. This is why it's very important for us to start hitting them bricks, hitting the streets, and really getting out here with the message. That's why we're really, really trying to get this Washington, D.C. event organized. We're just waiting on them to give the permit. They're kind of dragging ass with the permit. They told us that they're backed up and, they're doing a little splaining. But, we're just waiting on them to give us the permit so we can go ahead and get everything organized. Because this is something that we need. We got to hit these streets. We got to hit the streets and be in one accord with what the message is going to be. Let me get some callers in here because we got a lot of folks in here on this late, wonderful night. So let's get a couple of callers while we're waiting and just chopping it up. Let's get Awad. I think that's your name. Awad. I don't know if that's your name or not, but hop on, brother. Yo. Okay, let's Donatello. What's up, Donatello?
How's it going, Tariq? I'm a foundational Black American. I'm right down here in Savannah.
Okay, there you go. What's on your mind?
I think it's in two categories. I like to split it. When it comes to African tethers, I was reading this book about mercenaries in Africa in the 1960s. In the U.S. government, they were going over there setting up these schools, basically getting them coon ready. And right after the 60s, the 70s, and 80s, you started seeing these coons come to the United States and getting in Black American politics. So, and a lot of these people who are tethers that you see in government, they're the children of these people. As a matter of fact,
Yeah,
I've seen the son of one of Mobutu's advisors. He's a TikToker. He's like a pretty big TikToker. So they're all in our little spaces. You start seeing them in the drugs down there in Texas. Um, and I think the one of the photographers who took the picture of Dr. King, he was from South Africa. So they got military trained coons ready. And if I listen to like a lot of special forces podcasts, and they
yeah,
talk about building schools over there in Africa and having little immigrant programs. So I think they basically got a coon ready class. And the second one, before I land my plane, with the Hispanic immigrants, I have a theory that they're trying to turn the United States basically to how South America is, where they're letting these South American tethers over here to be that indigenous class like they have in South America, and they have the whites at the top, and they have us at the bottom. And in Savannah, Savannah is basically like 60% black, and I would say basically since the Obama administration, there have been massive amounts of Mexican immigrants in Savannah, and we've never seen this before. They're starting to go to our schools. They're setting up businesses here. I was trying to get an apartment recently. They're giving these people apartments. There's whole apartment blocks that's just full of these immigrants from South America, Afghanistan. So it's almost like they're trying to South Americanize the United States because the white numbers are dwindling. And I'll end my plane right there.
thank you so much, brother. Great, great information there. Let's get FBA Vader.
B1 family.
What's going on, man? What's on your mind?
Yeah, so just answering the question on the room, it's like that movie Us, right? And it's also like you've been like when you say we are the culture. You know, we live rent free in their head because they want to be us. They live in the shadows, they lurk in the shadows, and they can't get us off their mind because they want what we have.
Yeah.
And that's it. My plane has touched down.
Thank you so much, brother. Thank you for the input. Let's get Carter in here. Then Jamie. Carter.
Hello, I'm here.
What's up, brother? You all right?
Yes, sir. I'm good, Mr. Tariq. How you doing?
I'm good, brother. You got how many doors are you opening over there? Are you in a haunted house? You over there
No, I'm not.
with
I'm
them
not. I'm
squeaky
not.
doors, brother? You
I'm
don't
here with
open
my
you,
family. They sleep.
brother.
I'm
You
up
open
late
about
night.
5 different doors, brother. What's all them doors over there, bro?
Hey, I'm in my apartment with my lady and my son. It's
Okay.
148 where I'm at.
All right. All right. So what's on your mind, brother?
So I was
Okay,
in.
brother. It's
I'm.
taking you to.
Hold on. I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here.
Okay. I gotta move on, brother. You in there opening doors left and right. You got a Halloween horror night house over there going on, brother. So let me get Jamie in here. Come on, y'all better be ready.
Hello.
What's up, Jamie?
Yes, brother Tariq. I have a question.
Listen, now where you from, Jamie?
Memphis.
Man, okay, what's on your mind?
Okay. I know you are into media, but why not start a bank, something that's tangible in black communities and most of these small majority black cities like Memphis, where the people could put in and get a return on their dollar
Mm-hmm.
immediately, and it'll be tangible, brick and mortar, not something bank online, not nothing like that. Something tangible for the people. Brick and mortar.
Well, they already have black banks. They got black banks already. They got one in Atlanta. I went down there and put some money in that. They got one out here. I put some money in that in LA, where I'm from. So I'm pretty sure
Are
they
they
got black.
community based?
Um, community based. How? Like, what do you mean community based?
Like everybody black put in and everybody black get a return, or is it organization based? Because if we're talking organization based, Of course, a lot of black people who got money can already put their money into Jewish banks and just get the money off the Jewish return, off of a big bank like Wells Fargo, Bank of America. But I'm not talking corporate money and investments and getting back a return off of white dollars and Jewish dollars. Of course, everybody can do that. Why not start a community based bank where everybody put in just like you did with the Indiegogo and get an actual brick and mortar bank where the people put in and they get an immediate return and the immediate result?
Now, how do they get an immediate return?
Because all you have to do is put it at the standard rate of the competition and it's going to do what it do. Something new on, like I said, pick a town: Atlanta, Memphis, Detroit, one of these majority black cities, because the Persians up in
Okay,
Detroit.
no, hold on, no. Let's get to the logistics. I'm just trying to understand your reasoning in logistics. Okay, let's say a community of people, they put $100, or let's say 1,000 people put $100 each into this new bank. Now, how do they immediately get a return on their investment?
Because within a year or two, within the word of it just being a black bank, it will draw the attention. It will ring a bell, and that will inspire other black people to do. You know what? Start and put up more money and start $100,000 gas station, because it really don't take no money. All you got to do is put up the money from the bank, and you could do many of things off of bank money. We could give ourselves the loan instead of begging white people for reparations, which we need to do also. We can take immediate action, because if we could raise money for film, I mean, that's nice for you, but the people don't get a return on that. We get a good look. A museum, we go get a good look, but an actual bank, we get, that's money. So that's the immediate return. That's
But
not
you
media.
still
That's
no, you still
tangible
okay.
dollars.
You still have not.
Tangible
No,
dollars.
no, it's not. That's not an immediate return. It's because you haven't explained how it. That's not
Well,
an
what's the
immediate return.
return on the museum for the people other than paying to get in it? What's the return on putting up money for another film?
Yeah, and say what you mean, because really all of this is kind of a slight kind of hater type of thing about the museum and the films. That's why you
No, it's
can't.
saying
That
what do the
that's
people
why
get? It's
that
pointing.
that's why you can't really articulate what people get out of a bank. This is, and I want people to understand this. This is some low key hater shit. All right, that's why he can't really articulate it. Understand when people are trying to mask their hate. That's some hater shit you talking. Okay, you ain't slick. That's why you have not been able to articulate this whole bank scheme that don't even make no sense. There is no immediate return on a bank. Stop that babbling. Just let's get down to the nitty gritty. You have a problem because we raise money for the museum and some of the other projects, and you just kind of feel a certain way about that. Just say that. I want you to admit that. Don't play no banking games, because you ain't even making sense with the whole banking scheme. You just feel a certain way because you see me making money and I go through with whatever
You
I
right,
say I'm going to
Tariq.
do.
You making money.
Right. And then I inspire others to make money. Then I put other people on, and then I educate people. Then I hire people, because if you want to talk about a return of investment, with the money that I make, we hire people. Every project that I've done, we've hired people. It's not just me making money. When we did money for the conference, we hired people. We had a bunch of vendors come in, people networked, people made money with their businesses. Everybody was happy. The people who came was happy. So stop directing your hate to me, because that's some sucker shit. That sounds like jealousy. Stop that. Get that bullshit out of the game here. Y'all got to cut that out and say, what can I do similar to what this dude has done so that I
Make
can start
something
hiring
tangible so
people?
the people could get a return on it.
Right. No, all that return, you're not going to get an immediate return on a bank. You understand that you're not going to get an immediate return. Stop. You haven't even articulated that correctly,
So why do banks build more banks?
because they have money and they have corporate structures.
We had money to put up money for films, but we don't have money for a bank. You did $1 million in 30 days. Tariq, do $1 million for a bank.
How come you haven't done it?
Tariq, you got the voice. No, say why you put up $1 million
You
for a museum that's not built because you say you could do it, but you didn't do it. And
well,
we put
well.
up
Oh,
money
there we
for
go.
all of
There
your.
we go. There you go. Get it on out. There you go. Now let's get the hate out. This is what I'm talking about. Be honest with you, hate. Now, do you think I don't have that museum popping? Do you honestly? Are you gonna sit your ass here and think that I don't have that museum popping? Jamie, turn your microphone on.
It's not about the museum. I
Do
said
you
you
think? No,
did
no,
it
no.
before.
Stop.
Listen, you did
Stop.
it before. $1 million in.
Stop. You think I don't have that museum popping? We pretty much got the museum locked down. We're doing inspections and we're doing all the paperwork. If you understood business, and this is why dudes like you who don't know what the hell they're talking about don't need to be in business people's business. You understand? This is why people have think tanks. This is one of the main reasons why other groups have think tanks, so that little hater dudes like this don't come sullying the conversation with their insecurity and their jealousy. You understand what I'm saying? Now you know good and well I'm getting that museum popping. We pretty much got it already down. The museum is in escrow right now. So don't even go there. Don't even play those games. And you just keep whining
So
about how
do
much
a bank. You
uh,
did movies. You
you
did.
do a bank.
You
That's your
got the
job.
voice. You did $1 million in
How
30
come
days. You
how
can't
come
do
you
$1 million
don't
for a bank
how come you don't do it?
because I don't have your voice and you
Well,
got
how
your
come you
voice.
don't have a
Now why
voice?
don't you do it?
How
Now
come you do, but how no, because I've done enough. How come you don't have a voice? I can't do everything. I got a museum, movies, rallies coming up. What you gonna do? How come you ain't doing nothing?
a whole bunch of shit people get no return on.
And you're twins with me because you ain't got nothing nobody getting a return on, sir. What are you doing? Where's your bank? How come you're not doing? How come you didn't get out here and get a voice like me? Hmm? Jamie, turn your microphone on, Jamie. Turn your microphone on. Cause you're not gonna whine. I'm not gonna listen to no nigga whine. Turn your microphone on, Jamie. How come you're not out here building your reputation and getting a voice? It's not that I have a voice, I have a reputation. There's a lot of folks who have a voice who can't get anything popping. I have a
Like a
rep
bank, but you
I
could get
have
the
a
movie, some
reputation.
shit people don't get return on. You
Yeah.
could get that popping.
And how come you haven't done it? How come you don't have a reputation like me?
To start a bank, all you
To
need is
do
your reputation.
anything.
I
To
don't need
do
your reputation. You
anything.
need your reputation.
To do anything. How come you don't have your own reputation where people can trust you with the money that they give you? How come you don't have that? How come you haven't built that?
Now that you raised $1 million for that, can you get
Stop.
100,000?
Okay, can you stop pocket watching me? And how come you haven't done that? Why don't you build a reputation like I did from the mud, from the bricks, from the grassroots, and you do it?
How much money have you put up in
Why
lobbying
are
for
you?
reparations?
How much have you put up?
Tariq, you the bread man. You live in
You,
Tarzana. How much
you
money
the.
have you put up to
I don't
lobby
live
your
in.
reparations bill?
I don't live in no damn Tarzana. And how come you ain't the bread man?
Why not the bank then?
Why didn't you do it? How come you haven't built a bank, dude? All of these ideas, how come you haven't followed through on your ideas? If you were so passionate about it, that means you're not really that passionate about it. Because things that I'm passionate about, I go out there and do. If I'm passionate about a museum, I get my ass out there and I build a museum, which is what I've done. If I'm
But you
passionate,
ain't passionate about a bank.
you ain't passionate about a bank because you ain't done a damn thing. So we twins.
But you had Tariq, so do a bank.
You do a bank. You're the one who's supposed to be passionate about it. Why didn't you
So
do
you
it?
can't do a bank. Just say it, nigga. Damn it. Say it with your chest, not with your breast.
Now, you say it. You and I are twins. Say it with your titties, not with the pity. Now say it. You being a bitch right now.
I'm gonna get.
You being a punk right now. And you're projecting your bitch made behavior because you can't get out here and do it because you ain't really passionate about no bank. You ain't passionate about nothing. You just sitting up in your little studio apartment or at your mama's house, pocket watching other men. You ain't lifting a finger to build nothing. Are you? Aren't you? You're not building nothing, are you? Turn your microphone on, bitch ass dude. You know how moist you sound whining to another man about what they should build and your ass ain't doing it. Turn your microphone on, boy. Turn your microphone on. He's probably talking and doesn't realize that his microphone is off. He's probably babbling like a biatch. Turn your microphone on, dude. And folks, watch out for these type of little Negroes who always got these plebiscite babbling schemes that they ain't gonna never do. They try to tell other folks to do stuff with their
$1
money that they're
million,
not going to do.
but
You
can't
damn.
start a bank and
And
won't
you
start a bank.
can, and you won't either. You won't do it either. You're sitting here babbling about
Who got
another
the
man,
bigger
man.
voice, nigga? Who got the
No,
bigger voice?
who has the best reputation? Me. You know why? Because I'm not a bitch who whines to other men. I get out here
So
and do
do it then,
things.
nigga. Do it.
You ain't doing it. You the one who wants a bank. You ain't doing it. So that means you a whiny bitch. Why you being a little whiny bitch and you ain't building nothing?
Why you ain't put up $1 million to buy a gas station in LA?
Nigga, why haven't you built a lemonade stand anywhere?
Tangible, niggas, tangible. Not shit
You
you
just,
get a return on. Talk that real money talk.
you sound like a hoe watching another dude's pockets and you ain't doing nothing. Women, I apologize for these type of niggas. Women cringe when dudes like you come around, sitting around watching another man's pockets, talking about what they should be doing and you ain't doing it. That is the epitome of bitch made. And we don't need dudes like you around. That is a problem. We have too many feminized, bitch made, basketball wife ass niggas who sit around here looking at another man's pockets, talking about what that other man should be doing for them. And you ain't doing nothing to build anything. Sir, that is the definition of a bitch. That's what bitches do. They sit up and look at what other niggas got so that they can go whine and beg for a couple of crumbs off a nigga. That's basketball wife stuff. Now, Jamie, any last words? Because I'm just kind of disgusted talking to a bitch ass dude like yourself. Are you about to yell some random emotional bullshit, dude?
People know what tangible is, and we all
Okay, get off here, dude. Get off of here, Jamie. Ladies, can I talk to the ladies for a minute? Then I get on the dudes. Ladies, this is why it's important to have fathers for your sons. I'm going to get on the ladies for a minute. Ladies, where you at, ladies? Yes, ladies. Ladies are like, oh, why you going to get on us? Ladies, y'all raise niggas like this. Y'all raise these dudes with no fathers. You raise them in a house full of women. When you at work, he's walking around the house in your heels. He's in there trying on your makeup, that little emotional dude, and he's eavesdropping, listening to you on the phone, hollering at niggas for money. So he think he's supposed to do that type of shit. He see mama calling, trying to get a little child support here. He see mama on the phone trying to holler at a nigga to pay a little rent. He see mama hollering at a nigga for a car note. And then this dude think that's what you do. You're supposed to holler at men if you're trying to get something. Instead of getting out there, hitting the bricks and getting it yourself as a man. And now let me talk to my dudes here, especially my young dudes, my young brothers out here, young dudes out here. I know that a lot of the old niggas kind of let you down, but don't let that turn you into a bitch, dude. There is nothing more bitch made than a dude who won't build nothing, who won't get out here and earn a reputation in the streets as somebody who's thorough and trustworthy so that people can be galvanized around whatever you got going on. Sitting around whining to another man about your ideas and what he ain't doing to bring your ideas to fruition. You are a hoe. That is hoe talk for real. That's like a girlfriend whining to her boyfriend about he ain't investing in her dreams. You know I want to open a nail salon. How come you ain't giving me no money? You know I wanted to go to school for eyelashes. You ain't paying for my school. You don't believe in me. That's what women do they whine to their boyfriends. My young boys, don't be that dude. And what's interesting, you know what's interesting? I was having a conversation with my son, my 5-year-old. My 5-year-old said some real fly shit. He was like, Dad, when I grow up, how can I have money like you? My son said this to me the other day. How can I have money like you, Dad? And I told him, I said, you have to earn respect from people. You got to be a person who's worthy of respect. That's the first thing I told him. See, there has to be a foundation there. And this is my 5-year-old. This is my 5-year-old. You have to be a person who's worthy of respect, and you have to be a person who's trustworthy. This is what I told my 5-year-old son. You have to be trustworthy because when you talk to children, you got to make it very plain. You can't plebiscite babble to children. You got to make it plain. And if you are a trustworthy person, everything else is going to fall into place. Because if you're trustworthy, your word is your bond and people can rely on you. And that goes a long way. When you say what you mean and mean what you say and do what you say, I'm telling y'all that goes a long way. Y'all want to see why I'm able to raise $1 million in a month? People trust what I say. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. That goes a long way. You got to be a person of your word. And you got to be a person who is fearless about doing the right thing. But just being a trustworthy person, that's going to get you the respect that you need. And I learned that from the streets. Out in the streets, especially LA, you can't be no jive ass dude running around the streets out here. Even if you wanted to be, it's too dangerous. If you get a reputation on the streets out here as a person who can't be trusted, that would put your life in danger. That would make you a mark. That would make you somebody who had a target on their back. The minute the word got around that you were not a trustworthy person, you are food in the streets. The minute you got a reputation of harming somebody or double crossing somebody or snitching on somebody or stealing from somebody out here, things go left very quickly. I'll give you an example. The situation that happened with our good brother Pop Smoke, RIP to that brother. For those who don't know, Pop Smoke was accused of taking somebody's car. He allegedly, I'm just saying, and my brother's dead, and I'm not saying this to disparage our brother, but many people probably heard the situation where there was a rental car situation going on. I want to say it was a Rolls Royce or some kind of car that he allegedly took to New York somewhere, took somebody's ride out here. Somebody let him borrow a car, and then he took the car out of state. And the word got out around that. The word got out. That this dude who was an out of towner just came into town and kind of finesse somebody. So now your reputation ain't that good. So his reputation wasn't that good out here, and then what things happen. Things happen to my brother, and my brother lost his life. But just having a reputation of somebody who is perceived as not being trustworthy, that can put a target on your back. So you don't want to be that type of person. But let me get some more calls in here. How many? We got a lot of people in here. All right. Well, what's up, sir? Let me get my brother Sir Major on here. Sir Major, what's going on, brother? Let's get Sir Major in here. Where you at, Sir Major? Well, Sir Major, where you at, brother? Okay, I get Sir Major back in a minute. I get you back. I don't know, something's going on with your microphone. Let's get Angela in here.
Hi, Tariq. How you doing? Thanks for having me in the space. And I was just gonna tell you, look, you gonna have that. You know what I'm saying? When somebody is in your position and in your power, you're gonna have people hating. I mean, the dude is a nut. If you a simple Google would have showed him that it costs like between $12 and $20 million to open a bank. You understand? You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? So like they just distractions, like you said. And what I've learned from my father is that, Tariq, let me tell you what, you've been putting in work for over 20 years. I'm 52. I'm just a little bit older than you.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've
Hmm.
been putting in work for over 20, 30 years. You understand what I'm saying? And the lessons that you give us, the history that we didn't learn in school. You understand what I'm saying? That is priceless. You understand? You cannot put a dollar amount on the education and the fun teaching us the fundamentals about learning our lineage, because I was so confused for so long, Tariq. I'm not lying. I used to wonder, like, what am I? Am I African American? What am I? Am I mixed? Am I mulatto? I was so confused for so many years. And for you to come out, I'm telling you, it's like a gift from God, because it's like, look, this is what it is. You was already here. And he's sent here to tell you and teach you about your past, about your ancestors. So what you do is priceless for us. Don't worry about these pocket watchers. Let that boy go somewhere and lick his little pussy. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? You keep doing what you doing. You doing what
Yes,
you
man.
are called to do. Because one thing for certain and two for sure, people gonna always talk. And my mama said, if you ain't nobody talking about you, you ain't popping. They do the same thing to LeBron. I'm from where he's from, and he can't do enough. And I fight him for him all the time. Like, he can't do everything. He building apartments. He's building schools. He's redoing, all our gyms. You understand? Giving the kids uniforms, giving them shoes, giving them parades, paint, shutting down Cedar Point, giving the families 10 tickets apiece. It's never gonna be enough.
Real talk.
That's it.
Real. Thank you so much, beloved. And yeah, we got to get off that, man. It's oh goodness, man. We can't complain about not having an economic base, and then when black folks start creating economic bases, we can't have goofy ass people sitting around here hating and pocket watching. Okay, you built that. Well, how come you didn't build this? Because if I built a bank yesterday, well, yeah, how come you didn't build a hospital? It'll be something else. It ain't really about no bank. It ain't about no museum. It's just about dudes projecting their own failure. I want I want the family to understand that. My black people who want to get into business, when you and some of you who are already in business, you know how it is. When you first get started or you try to give your ideas out here, there's always going to be somebody around you trying to shoot it down and trying to discourage you. And they do that because, not that they don't believe in you. I want y'all to understand this. A lot of you people try to discourage you because they know you're going to be successful. They know that you got the right mind. They know you got the right spirit. They know you got the right level of integrity to make it happen. They know that you would be successful if you started a business, and they know that you have the talent in whatever field you want to get into. But the thing is, they'll try to discourage you and try to plant seeds of doubt in your mind because they don't want you to leave them behind. They know once you start getting out here grinding, getting your business popping, you ain't gonna be fucking with them that much no more. You understand what I'm saying? They understand that you ain't really gonna be kicking it with them like that. You're gonna be on another level, and they ain't really trying to go to that next level. They're trying to kind of chill in the zone where they are. They're kind of comfortable in the zone they're in. But when you want to level up, they are going to try to shoot you down. And you don't let that happen. Even strangers, even people you don't know will try to discourage you. And they do this with black people because, again, there's a lot of insecurity there. They see a reflection of themselves. And if you are doing good as a black person, it's like, well, damn it, what am I doing wrong? Well, maybe I ain't doing nothing wrong. It's just them doing it the wrong way. Instead of them getting this business, they should have another business. That's all projection, family. So yeah, I'm not discouraged by that. I just don't want the family to be discouraged by that talk because we hear a lot of it when you are an entrepreneur in Black society. That's unfortunately something that we have to deal with. Every Black person has heard a conversation from a Negro like that when they try to do some type of business, when they are an independent contractor, when they do business, or and they're successful at it. Unfortunately, this is what we have to deal with oftentimes. You got to get with those jealous pocket watching haters who are projecting their own insecurities onto us. So we don't get swayed by that. Um, let's see, we got a lot of folks in here. Let's get Mikos. Let's get Mikos in here. And let's get who is this? Involuntary. Okay, let me get involuntary immigrant. All right, involuntary immigrant. Hop on, involuntary immigrant. What's going on, man?
Hey
What's on your
man,
mind?
listen, that last dude that spoke before that female, I started to notice something with you, brother. Like you educate us, man. Like you go out your way to educate, but whenever there's a hate on you, it always got to do, oh, what you doing with this? What you doing with that? I don't even think that's like a him trying to project on you. I personally think that is a op. And I mean, I'm sorry to cuss on your
Yeah,
platform, but
yeah,
like that's some
yeah.
op type stuff right there, brother. Because it's like with most of the stuff you do, with whatever funds it is you may make, it seems like you always giving back to that FBA. And
Of
and I
course, all the time.
and it ain't even like, brother, I'm 34. I show your stuff with my babies. You know what I mean? Because they're not gonna get proper education from the indoctrination school system. So
Hmm.
if you spend 5 grand on it, if you spend 5 million on it, that's an education we ain't gonna get, and you could never put a price on a proper education. So
Real talk.
so I appreciate you for that, especially with the new maroon. I'm from Florida. So you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I'm not even just from Florida. I'm from Central Florida. I'm from Ocala, Florida. Cotton plant, Ocala, Florida, which is less than an hour away from Rosewood. And so if you ever look into the history of cotton plant, Ocala, Florida, you're gonna see a lot of what you're talking about might dig into down there. So
Yes, indeed.
soon as I saw you
Yes, indeed.
dropping that maroon, I was like, oh, he doing it, doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I ain't gonna hold you long on here, man. I know I'm normally long winded, but when
I appreciate. There you go. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. But yeah, I can't wait to the Maroon project come out, man. And I was just working on it earlier. That's why I do these late night broadcasts because I'm, working on the film. It's a lot of editing that has to be done. Mikos, let's get Mikos on here. Mi-
How's it going, Tariq?
What's up,
Thank you for
Mikos?
having me. Man, I sent you an email about when is the exact day? I mean, I know exact day, but is it safe to say? Excuse me, I'm a little nervous to go ahead and book our flights and all that stuff like that and get
For
my
the 15th,
room.
yeah, for the 15th, I want to make sure that we're good on the permits because our brother Marcel, he wants to galvanize some volunteers, and everybody's ready. They're dragging ass about the permits. I want to make sure we get the permits. Everything should be good to go, but I just want to make sure we get the permits and everything locked down. And again, we'll keep everybody posted. But yeah, October 15th. That's the date we're looking at for Washington, D.C., and everybody's excited about it. But D.C., the permit office is like, yeah, we're backed up, and the lady is a lady named Marissa or something, and she has a lot of emails, and it's going to take about a week or so for her to go through all the emails. I'm like, okay, so this is what they're telling us. So me and my crew, we had a meeting the other day, and we sent them some more emails, and we're thinking about going up there, and so we're trying to get it together. So we're trying to get it. We're still working on that permit up there. You know, that girl. Let's get that girl in here.
Hi, thank you for allowing me to speak. I just wanted to say, well, first of all, I did want to say that there should, because the topic is tethers, FBA living free and tether minds.
Yes.
So, so I do want to say that I don't think that people who aren't Black American should be on like committees about reparations or whatever like that. I don't think that should be happening, right? But one of your callers called in and was like, oh, there's this guy who's a child of so and so, and he's in our space. He has a TikTok, and he's in our. So, can I ask a question? Like, what is like considered being in the FBA space?
Like when we're having conversations about what's best for the well-being of foundational Black Americans, usually in our Twitter spaces, in our Twitter spaces, in our reparations conversations, Twitter spaces, reparations conversations, things of that nature. Because usually in Twitter spaces, we're talking about things that directly impact foundational Black Americans. We're talking about police non-justice. We're talking about political things that's going to affect us. We're talking about tangible things that's going to affect us directly. And whenever we start talking about what we need to get as foundational Black Americans and what needs to be done for us politically and socially, we get all of these other people popping in. Well, why do you niggas hate Nigerians? And what? Why do you niggas hate Jamaicans? Like, we're not even talking about you. So then we get all of that type of stuff. And then these weird threads and then these weird Twitter spaces pop up, calling us xenophobic and we're hating on them. And it gets real weird. So we are rent free in a lot of people's minds. And some of the people ain't even over here. Again, we're talking about a space that was not even a space, but a thread coming
Mm.
from South Africa. And they were like really talking greasy about us, literally for no reason. So, that type of stuff, which, and I don't really have a problem with it. I want everybody to let it all hang out and let everybody know how you really feel about us. Because let's stop all the game playing and just put it all on the table.
Okay, but so then can I ask you, like, do you think it's all like people who aren't quote foundational Black American who feel like this? Because full transparency, I'm born in America, but I'm Haitian, right? But I
Okay.
say I'm Black, right? Like, so, but I've never like grown up saying like, oh, Black people do this, but I don't do that, or whatever. I'm just like, I've never even counted how many Black friends I have and Haitian friends and stuff. But I have seen people say things like, oh, well, tethers are trying to steal our culture and this. And I'm like, I just thought we were all like on the same. So even when you say political, like, yeah, there's certain political. I live in Philadelphia. Okay. So this place is being destroyed by, these policies that affects me too. So do I not have a say in that? Like, or, like, is that like still kind of treading on? And I'm seriously asking the question to understand, like,
I get that. Now, here's the problem. Because, see, what's interesting, the people that they get to facilitate a lot of the foolery that happens to us politically, they will usually get non-FBA people. For example, with Biden's administration, Karine Jean-Pierre and all of those people that woman hates Black society. She's Haitian. And whenever you talk about reparations or mention it to her, her eyes gets to bucking. You understand? Like, how dare you even ask? She gives that kind of look. So
uh-huh.
And then they get Roland Martin's chunky ass, and he's Haitian, and he's always talking greasy at us. He talks to us like we're his damn children. So they get these non-FBA people, or people with a non-FBA background, who are possibly anchored here, and usually they use them as the buffer foot soldiers to facilitate a lot of anti-FBA vitriol, because they understand that some of these people, even though they're black, they won't have a lineage camaraderie with us, because in their minds, well, I'm different from them.
Mhm.
And I'm black when it's convenient, because you said you're Haitian, but we all black. But let's be clear. I have heard many Haitians say, well, I'm not black, I'm Haitian, or I'm black and Haitian. They'll say it like they're biracial. You-
Right.
So they
And
look at blackness as different than what they are. And you being Haitian, and I talked about this the other day, you go to New York, you go down to Miami, the Haitians don't go to black churches. They go to Haitian churches. They form their own churches. They form their little own enclaves, and we don't bother them. We're not sitting here saying, hey, how come y'all not going to our church? If you want to go to your Haitian church, knock yourself out. We're not in your business. But whenever we start talking about what we need to get going, then all of a sudden they have to crowbar themselves into our business, you see. So that's the issue we have, the hypocrisy of it. If you want to have your enclaves, that's fine. Respect our enclaves.
yeah, I mean, I get that. I mean, I get that. I mean, they do speak another language, and maybe that's why they have their own churches to understand it. But I get that because Karine Jean Pierre is, I mean, I say it out loud to people like, I don't know why y'all letting this Haitian talk to y'all like that. And,
Yeah.
you know, me being Haitian saying it, I'm seeing it. Like, they do. I mean, there's even another one in his administration who is Haitian. I can tell by her last name, who brings up a lot of stuff when it comes to the abortion, like black women need abortion and this, and I feel some type of way about that because I'm
Right.
like, that's not what you should be perpetuating at all. Like, this is not what black is about to me in any country. Black should be, it's about family and stuff like that. So, you know, I understand, I get it. I guess sometimes though on Twitter, I see people say some greasy stuff and I'm like,
I get that.
you
The
know,
thing is, our thing is, we're cool with everybody, but as far as representation, we would rather have foundational Black Americans represent foundational Black Americans. This whole thing where we're just one big nigga, that doesn't work, because too many people have their own agenda, and they have this own thing where they want to look out for their ethnic group. So when we have people who have dual allegiances, a halfway allegiance to us, but another allegiance to some type of foreign lineage they have, they're not going to speak in the best interest of us. That's why I have a problem with some of these non-FBA people on reparations panels, because they get on these panels and start talking about why we don't need reparations. You see, of course they're going to say that because number one, they're not eligible, and number two, they come from another lineage where coming over here is their reparation. Their come up is just getting here, and they've cashed out. They've got a bunch of unearned benefits by coming over here. So this is why foundational Black Americans are looking around saying, hey, we want our own people to be our own representatives for our lineage. And that should be respected because we respect everybody else's lineage. That makes sense?
no, that makes absolute sense. The way how you articulate it, it does make sense. And like you said, I don't believe that some other culture should be on the reparations committee. I've said that since I was younger. That
Right.
that's for Black Americans. But anyway, it was good to talk to you. So
Thank you so
thank you for having me on.
Thank you, beloved. Yeah, man. Listen, we don't have a problem. Look, sometimes, look. Sometimes people get in these Twitter spaces, and then y'all get in and y'all say the wrong thing to the wrong people and get your neck chopped. That happens. That happens. Sometimes you're gonna catch the wrong person, and they're not going to articulate things in a way that that's going to be smooth. You're gonna get the business if you say the wrong thing in some of these rooms. Sometimes there's a little more decorum in some of the rooms. Sometimes the rooms are shark infested, and you stick your foot in there, and jaws roll up on your ass. You gotta watch these spaces and watch what you say, and sometimes it ain't gonna be pretty. I know Sir Major, he's in here. and some of the Secure the Tribe brothers, they slice and dice sometimes. But we have to understand it's a very fair assessment for us to want to represent ourselves. Whenever I see a so-called reparations panel and they got a bunch of immigrants on there or some African people here and all of I'm like, it's already neutralized as far as I'm concerned. It's already compromised. I already don't take it seriously, to be honest. We're not going to play these games when it comes to people representing us. That's why on the official FBA website, we talked about even people with anchored backgrounds, people who are half FBA and have something else, even though they can still benefit from being a foundational Black American because they share the lineage, we don't have to look to them as spokespersons, and it would not behoove us to allow them to be spokespersons for our ethnic group because they could possibly be compromised. And this goes to Native American tribes. They're like this. Certain people, if you have a um, mixed lineage, if you are part one tribe and part this tribe, they won't allow you to even be a chief because they would assume that you have dual allegiances and your judgment for the whole tribe could be compromised. So these are ancient tactics and techniques and cultural traditions, because this is what this is. It's a cultural thing. Foundational Black Americans, we have our own culture, and the good thing about culture evolves, so we create our own culture. That is a part of our culture. Part of our culture is wanting to have full FBA people represent who we are and the rest of the culture. Let me get a couple of more people on here. We got a lot of folks on here on this late night tip. Let's get Terry in here. We get Terry. What's up, Terry? Terry, turn your microphone on. What's up, Terry? All right, Terry, where you at? All right. All right, now let's get Cleopatra Jones in here. All right, let's get Cleopatra Jones. Hop on here.
Lordy B, I did not expect that to happen that fast. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How are you,
I'm
dear?
wonderful. Thank you for asking. How are you?
I'm good. And what city you from?
I'm out of Belleville, Michigan.
Oh, damn.
Right outside of Detroit.
Lord, Lord,
I
Lord,
know,
Lord.
right? What does that mean?
Is that you? I'm too. Is that you in your bathing suit, looking like you're on a Tom Joyner cruise
That
on
was
your
me in
profile
Myrtle
picture?
Beach during the pandemic, living my best life.
You trying to catch some
Like,
corona
Lord,
victims
and I was on the beach. I was on the beach.
out there hooked
And I was all
out there.
right. So I find my peace at the water.
You out there trying to
Shout
find
out
you a
to your
sugar daddy with
Maya,
a.
your Mosha, the mother of fish.
Yes, indeed.
Shame.
Out there getting you a sugar daddy with a mask on.
A
So what's on
sugar
your mind, dear?
daddy. I am the sugar daddy.
y'all Michigan women. Let me tell you,
I'm the
Michigan
sugar
women.
daddy. What do
Let
you
me tell you,
mean?
no,
Out here.
Michigan women keep an old nigga somewhere. They keep sugar
Oh,
daddy
am
somewhere.
I getting
Yes, y'all
categorized
do. Yes,
already?
yes, I'm stereotyping. The Michigan women always
Lordy.
have Charlie Earl
You talking about
somewhere
Detroit
throwing a
women or
couple of
Jackson,
dollars.
Michigan women? Because I'm originally from
No.
Jackson, Michigan, by way
Oh, okay.
of Jackson Creek, Tennessee.
Oh,
Big
okay.
Mama,
Okay.
Mama Willie, Mr. Buster. No, that's where I spent my
Yeah,
time
yeah,
in my childhood on the
yeah.
farm.
Y'all be out there getting. Y'all be getting old niggas from skating rinks and all that shit.
Lord, dude.
Yeah.
I listen. I got on here and I tried my best not to sit up here and criticize you based on what people talked about you and said about you. And I'm like, wow, you really coming at me.
No, no, no.
You really coming, like, if you knew me and where I come from, you would be giving me my flowers.
Yeah. Now, what do you think about the topic about FBA's living rent free in the minds of people?
I am the epitome of a foundational Black American. I come
Mm-hmm.
from a long line. You know what I mean? My mother was light skinned green eyes, and she told me one of my most recent memories of my childhood. My mother told me I'd look if we were in slavery times, I'd be a field nigga and she'd be in the house.
Mm, mm, mm,
That's how far
mm,
back I go in this treacherous time of tumultuous horror that has been put upon our people.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
You know, I
mm.
come from a long line of colorism. I got my mother whooped my butt in the bathtub, woke me up out of my sleep with a whooping because I was a dark skinned child and I was a love child from her having an affair with a notorious gangster.
Oh, damn. Mm,
And she broke the
that's
bloodline because my grandmother and them all them was light skinned and half white, looking like they would pass.
where were they from?
Jacks Creek,
Mississippi, Louisiana,
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Jacks Creek,
Okay. Oh,
Tennessee. So I am a victim. Oh, well, I'm a survivor. I'm not gonna say victim. I'm a survivor of not only racism and colorism in this country, but also amongst my own family. Like I am breaking chains. I am breaking
mm.
generational curses. I had my first child when I was 16, and I prayed for her. When I found out she was a girl, I prayed for her to be light skinned.
Oh, Lord, Lord, Lord.
So
Now,
I come from a long line of trauma. So this is real to me. And so when I sit up here and I listen to everyone online, on the internet, on different, I'm new to the internet, mind you. Like I'm doing my best. I'm not the most technically savvy person, but I'm coming into these spaces and I'm hearing people repeat. It's so repetitive of the same traumas, but yet we're not coming together. I understand. I know how you feel because I actually was just I broke up with an African man. I met an African man, fell in love with him 2 years ago, and had to break up with him because when I explained to him that my father, who was born in 1934, and my grandfather, who was born in 1892, was both inspirational entrepreneurs in the bootlegging system, in the gangster system, he told me, "Oh, you proud of that?" I'm like, "What you mean?" The options, they had no options. What options did you have? You came here. You came here by way of Nigeria to Canada. So I've seen to United States and trying to get with me. So I know every line, everything, every hustle. My mama was a
now,
school teacher. My mama was a
did you
school
have kids?
teacher, and my
Hold on.
father was a notorious gangster.
Did you have kids with the African dude?
Nope.
Okay.
But he
Did y'all
wanted
get
me to.
married? Well, did
Ultimately,
y'all
I
get married
realized
though?
that was the goal.
Right. What did y'all get
No,
married?
we did because no,
Okay.
I broke up with him because he didn't understand my struggle. He
Right. 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 Right.
disrespected the struggle of my ancestors.
Mm.
Not realizing the only reason he was here was because of the struggle of my ancestors. So I know exactly what y'all talking about. I know exactly how y'all feel. But I'm just here to say, while
Yeah.
I have a moment to speak, I'm just here to say we ain't gonna get nowhere like that. We all got to come together. It's all about white supremacy. It's all about patriarchy. It's all about them Europeans and colonizers. If we don't come together, that's what they do. They feed of us separating each other. It's not. It's
There you go. I had to land your plane because I got to touch on some of that stuff. You didn't sound like you're gonna land that plane. Let me touch on that. When people say, "Well, we got to all come together," I had to let me pump the brakes and really build on that. When people say we all have to come together, man, we all got to come together. Man, if we just come together, man, black folks, man, we all got to get together. Let me tell y'all something, FBA family. No, the hell we don't. We gonna stop that. We all got to come together. The hell we do have to. We don't have to come together with nothing. That's been the problem. We're coming together with the wrong niggas. We do not have to all come together. No, we don't. I want y'all to listen to me, black folks. You don't have to come together with a bunch of off code niggas. It's pointless coming together with a bunch of niggas who are off code. I'm cool on that, and I want black folks to get that out of your psyche. This thing where we all gotta, if you see some black folks, just all come together. That's idealistic. The problem is too many off-code Negroes. I only want to come together with on-code folks. You give me 300 on-code black folks over 1 million off-code niggas, I'll be all right with that 300, because you can't get nothing done with 1 million off-code niggas. We can't get a damn thing done. 1 million off-code niggas is just as good as being by your damn self. Do you understand what I'm saying? You get 1 million niggas who get in the room and they're coming together, but they're all off code and they're useless. The name of the game is to get a group of people who are on code first. You get a select group of people who are on code. Now, who's off code? See, this one you got to start asking questions. Who's off code? You have to start looking at behavior patterns. Who are the people who's going to be off code? There's 4 people who's going to be off code within black society. There's 4 types of people who's going to be off code in black society. The bed bucks and bed wenches, they're going to be off code because they're going to prioritize interracial sexual access. They're going to be off code. That's a sector. And the church coon, political coon crowd, I put them together. They're usually off code. These usually are the old Negroes, kind of the diamond and silk types, the church coon, political coon. Those, we got to vote because, our grandparents vote and they fought for the right to vote. Those type of niggas. Those types. Those political and those church coons. Well, the Lord, I forgives everybody. I forgives these white people for hurting me. Those are the off-code kind we got to watch out for. We got to watch out for them. Dusty niggas and hood rats. That's number 3 family. Dusty niggas and hood rats. I'm talking about the hardcore dusty ones. Like the dude who called earlier, that plebiscite banker. That's not the kind of nigga you want around. And just think, if he had a sister, how dusty and hood ratish she is. The chicks you see twerking on TikTok and Twitter, we're not going to really build anything with them. It's good to look at. I look at a couple of booty clapping videos a day. It pops on my feed. I might take a few seconds to look. But really building, you're not going to build nothing with the TikTok twerkers. Let's keep it a buck. You ain't going to build shit with that. You can't come together with that and do anything. If you come together with a bunch of dusty niggas and TikTok twerkers, what you going to do? You ain't going to get nothing done. If you go to a protest, what's going to happen? They're going to start twerking, which is what we see. You see some of these rallies and protests out here, you see dusty niggas rapping and hood rats twerking. You see. And the fourth one, we all know what that is. The fourth off-code type within black society are the tethers. The tethers who come over, the ones who have the tether mentality, who immigrate over here and they have vitriol for us, they're not on code with us. They have contempt for us. They want to use us and exploit us for what we have and then ultimately replace us. Oh, do we come together with that? No. You can't come together with everybody. This is why we're looking at our lineage, and we've been able to get more codified based on our lineage, which is important because a lot of the non-FBA folks who come around us are just not on code. They have dual allegiances. That's why we've been circling our wagons and gatekeeping our culture, because it's working. That gets us on code. That disallows all these riffraffs to come around us to undermine us. This is why you ain't supposed to come together with everybody. That's been our problem. We've been sitting up here opening the door in black society on some kumbaya nonsense, and everybody comes on in and gets what they need to get, and then they bounce. We can't go in their communities. This is why that old black and brown stuff, it has to be deaded. We can't run around talking about that black and brown nonsense because it doesn't exist. They don't let us in their communities to get any resources. And if we get resources and they don't, oh, they'll be the first to complain. Remember J-Lo, that clip I played a few weeks ago where this organization was giving money to black women, and J-Lo popped up there. Well, damn it, I hope y'all giving it to some Latinas too. What about the Latinas? You see, they can't even contain the contempt if they think we're getting something that they ain't gonna eat off of. But when they get something, we can't even get a crumb of it. Man, we should have been cut that nonsense out a long time ago, letting folks exploit us for nothing. And we don't get nothing out of it, which is interracial sex. That ain't good enough. Ebony, hop on, beloved.
Hello, Tariq, and shouts out to the FBA fam. Peace and reparations. I just wanted to touch really quickly as far as the topic and tethers living rent free in the minds of FBAs. Um, I was just thinking about your conversation that you had a while back with Luke,
Yeah.
and he had someone, a woman, I don't know who she was, but they both kept saying, well, who are you speaking to? You guys need to talk to Congress, 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 and let people know, our senators and whatnot, statesmen. And my thing is, where are they getting all these panels with these, you know, tethers and whoever else are on? I don't even know who's picking these people to talk to the Pope and all these different so-called reparation. I don't know. I guess you spoke about a website in some state that had a fake reparations page or something. I mean, it sounds like a lot of people are starting to talk about it and hopping on the topic and trying to monopolize it in their different, ways. And I just don't think that this notion that we need to make sure Congress, they have to be the ones sending, don't aren't they the ones sending these people out here to kind of like run defense, kind of like take the topic and run away with it,
Yeah.
trying to grab all these other different, cultures and races and stuff like that and put it in our conversations. Isn't
Yeah.
that what's going on? I mean, don't they
Yeah.
already know?
Yes, it is. Thank you. Thank you for the call. Let me touch on that. Yeah, that whole thing, when it comes to us, and I've talked about this many times, they get into what I call wheel spinisms. They make us spin our wheels. With us, they make it seem like it's something that we've done that has thwarted us from getting something. So everybody else is getting tangibles from the elected officials and the government and everybody else, but we're not getting it because it was just something we didn't do right in the political process. It was just something we didn't do right in the filing of the paperwork. It's really our fault. Well, like Roland say, well, who you know? Who you meet up with? Did you meet up with the Congressional Black Caucus? That's Will Spinism. That's a con game, family. All of that wheel spinism, something that we didn't do. If we just filled out the right paperwork, we would have got something. Well, if you just had the right meeting with somebody, well, you're supposed to meet with Kamala. Oh, she wasn't available. Well, you're supposed to meet with Biden. Oh, he wasn't available. You're supposed to meet with the NAACP. Oops, it's will. They will go on and on with this nonsense if we let them. That's wheel. They just want us to spin our wheels indefinitely. It's always something that we just didn't do administratively. We just didn't get some administrative stuff worked out the way we should have. Oh, you filled out some reparations. You filled out some reparations paperwork. Did you use a blue ink pen? Oh, damn, man, you got to fill it out with blue ink pens, man. Did you take it? Did you fill the paperwork out and take it down to Washington, D.C.? What time did you do it? Oh, man, you can only do it at 7 o'clock at night. The excuses are never ending, family. The excuses and the damn splaining. Don't let them tell you all of that wheel spinnism stuff. Meet up with Congress and you got to let somebody know. These people know we need tangibles. They know we need reparations. They know that they're giving our tax dollars to other groups, and we're just not going to settle for that. Let me get one or two more people on here because I'm not going to be on here too long. Terry, are you ready to get on? Terry, are you ready to get on? All right, let me get Terry out of here. Let's get Parlay. Let's get Parlay in here. Parlay. We're waiting on Parlay. All right, turn your microphone on, Parlay. Parlay, you want to turn your microphone on? All right. All right, let's get Kenneth in here. We'll do Kenneth because Parlay wasn't ready. All right, Kenneth, you ready, Kenneth?
Yes, sir.
All right, what's on your mind, Ken?
I just got a question, man. Is there any way we can get like? I mean, I understand, like everybody's FBA. My folks, I'm from Mississippi. I mean, we FBA 100. But is there any way we can get all of our groups? I mean, to kind of like squash a lot of the beefs and kind of put everything together just to move everything forward. Because together, I think we got a lot more power than just everybody kind of fighting against each other. So is that any way you think that we can kind of put a lot of our issues in? Because I got issues with a lot of folk, but is there any way we can kind of
What
put a lot of
groups?
issues
What
together?
groups? What groups?
I'm
What
saying I'm
groups?
saying it's like we all trying to get to the same destination. We just taking different vehicles. Like you got some folks that's ADOS, and I got issues with that too. But it's like
Oh no!
you got
Stop! 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 I'm gonna say this, and y'all know better.
I
ADOS is a group.
yeah,
Foundational Black Americans. We are a lineage. We're not a group.
that's my point.
We don't. Okay. How do we come together with a lineage and all of that stuff, sir?
I'm just trying to figure out a way where we can come together as a lineage, and whatever groups that they're trying to come, that they're trying to include. And as long as we can get to our goal, as far as like getting our reparations and getting what's owed to us, we need to do whatever we can. But I just want people to just kind of put aside and just kind of move forward with it. Like, man, like you got folks out here really hurting. You know what I'm saying? Like for real, bro. Like you got folks out here really, and it would be more beneficial for us to like come together.
Come together. Who come together, man?
I'm talking about all these. Again, bro. I'm talking about all these divided ass, all this divisive. We all trying to get to the sun. I
But
apologize for my language, bro. I really do. I'm just,
okay, but okay. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Okay, 'cause I was going to try to. The brother just wanted to spew some catchphrases, so I'm just going to talk to the family because what he did was spew a bunch of catchphrases, and I was going to talk to him, but no, I'm not going to waste time. We got to get out of catchphrasism too, man. Look, man, let's stop all the bullshit, man. Let's just come together. Let's just get, man. We hurting. That's just catchphrases, man. You just sloganeering, dude. That's just slogans and catchphrases. You're not really saying anything. Man, it's real out here. We just got to come together. You know, down with dope, up with hope, man. Come on, man. Stop all the BS, man. We got to just start getting it, man. It's just catchphrases. Let's get out the catchphrase thing. We got to get out that catchphrase stuff and start talking logistics. When this dude mentioned all these different groups and we all got to come together, and the ADOS thing, man, ADOS is a dead brand with the goofball group. They're not a factor. They don't care about no damn reparations. If we listen to that group, everybody'd be ass out. If we listen to that group, there's a reason why don't nobody rock with them. What are you talking about? Come together with them? I know you're not saying that. Come together with strapping them? What are we going to do with them? For real. That's not what we going to do with that group. And we know the leader of that group is a damn moron. And everybody associated with that group, most of the people abandon them because the leader is a moron. What are we going to do with that group? Just be realistic. We can't come together with everybody. And you know that. Y'all got to stop playing. Everything ain't about coming together with everybody. Look, my thing is lineage. Foundation of Black Americans is a lineage. It ain't nowhere near the same as ADOS. Nowhere near the same, never the same. Not similar in any way. ADOS is an LGBT group with a dingbat leader who wants y'all to vote down Democrat and all this other goofy nonsense. Foundation of Black Americans are lineage. There ain't no leader. If anybody says I'm a leader, they're a damn lie. I'm not a leader of no lineage. Guapo, what's up?
Yo, what's going on, Tariq?
What's going on with you, man? What's on your mind?
Shit, man, I just needed your advice and opinion on some shit. I'm 40, right?
Yeah.
This broad at work, she about 31. We've been hanging out for about, I'll say, damn near a year. She Belizean.
Okay. You in LA? Are you in LA?
I'm in Gardena, LA.
Okay, yeah. LA is full of Belizeans. But go, where she live? Somewhere in
She
um
stay in LA. She stay off of Century and Budlong.
okay, yeah. Oh, is it, I was no, there was a Church's Chicken over there in that area. But go ahead.
Yeah. So we've been messing around for like damn near a year. She done been to the house, met moms, then met my son. I ain't I ain't met nobody.
And her family?
Yeah, at all.
Yeah. A couple of reasons. Now you live in Gardena,
Yeah.
and so she live over there. Um,
Okay,
well,
well,
she
let me say this. Let me say this. Let me say this. About 2 weeks ago, I say about 2 months ago, her uncle just got killed.
I was about to go there.
Yeah,
I was just,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. How old was her uncle, by the way?
Probably like in his 60s. He was
Oh, damn.
an older cat.
An OG got killed. So damn,
Yeah,
that's okay. So look, old girl. And how old is she? How old is she?
31.
Okay, so she's really. Does she have any kids?
Nope, no kids.
Okay, which is good.
And
So
that's
yeah,
why I like her. That's why I like her.
yeah, but her family,
I know.
they might be on some shit like, hey,
I already know.
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You mess with one of those FBA dudes, they want them to get with either another Belizean or a Latino. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
Has she dated Latino dudes before?
Her ex-boyfriend Mexican.
There you go. Already, it's always the same with these LA chicks. It's real funny style with them Belizean chicks and yeah, that's what it is. Because Belizeans, they look at themselves as Latino.
Mhm,
Yeah, you understand?
mhm,
So they think almost they're doing you a favor because you're an FBA that you're getting with them.
mhm.
But what old girl, what hood over there in Budlong is that? What hood is that? Is that the eight trays over there? Where is that? Her
Yeah,
neighborhood.
yeah. A-Trace.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So yeah, she lives in a, yeah, that's kind of a rough hood she in, you know. So you might not want to go over there like that, and unless it's a serious thing. And again, with old girl, don't let her make you feel like she's doing you a favor by getting with you. You understand?
Right.
Because a lot of them, again, LA is full of Belizeans, and they got all of these other so-called black people who got all of these Latino things in them, so they think that they're Latino psychologically.
But
So
I already told her I'm FBA.
yeah,
I'm not tripping off of me your family and shit. And she told me you can be my parents, but let's start let's start with my cousins first.
oh Lord, man,
I'm like, nigga.
dude, man. Okay, dude, don't act like that chick is doing you some kind of favor, dude. Listen, make her step her game up. Again, she might still have a little Mexican dude on the side somewhere. She might be just dating you as a placeholder until another Mexican comes through. You understand? So don't let her waste your time. Kind of make her get up off that thing and do what she needs to
I told her I'm for the streets.
do. Yeah.
I done let a couple bitches go already to fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to do this.
Man, but you don't want to invest too much time, and then all of a sudden,
Right.
you pull up to the crib, and she's getting into a Chevy with Julio, and
And that's what I'm trying to tell her, man. Just let me know.
yeah,
I can get in the wind.
yeah. So I would say, man, just kind of make her really step her game up, and let her know you ain't about to play no games out here in these streets, man. All right, thank you for the call, brother. Yeah, LA, the dating game in LA is real funny. Oh man, the LA dating game is funny. Boy, the people, dude, the psychological issues and the identity issues is amazing. But this is why we're focused, man. We're focused on our lineage. We don't have to um, sit here and try to impress all of these other groups. Man, you make these people step the hell up. They better be glad they dating a full-blooded FBA. They're not doing you no favor. You dig? Think about it. They're not doing you no favor. It's like old girl. Not to denigrate who, because I don't know the girl, but hell, this girl got old family members getting knocked off. So, you marrying into that, does that sound like a come up? Think about it. I want my FBA family to understand. Listen to some of the stories that goes on in some of these non-FBA families and all of the trauma and the traumatic stuff that goes on. That ain't, do you really want to marry into that? Yeah. A lot of these folks got all types of damage dysfunctions, these non-FBA dysfunctions. That's not a come up. And then look at all the stories we're seeing coming out of Houston. Boy, these sisters get knocked off left and right by these non-FBA dudes down in Houston. In Houston, that's like ground central for a lot of tethers and other people coming in. So hey man, we got to be ready. We got to be careful out here. It's not a joke out here. But anyway, let me get out of here, man. I've been on here. I got work to do still. It's almost 1,000 people in here. But hey, much respect to the family. Much respect to y'all for tuning in. Let me get up out of here. I will say Papi Akute and Lola Vuve to the family, and you guys have a great night.